On behalf of the Board of the Ontario Heritage Fairs Association, we wish to acknowledge that the modern-day province of Ontario is located on the traditional and sacred territories of many diverse First Nations and Indigenous peoples, including the Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, Wendat, Tionontati, Ininu, Ojibwe, Attawandaron, and the Métis Nation. We are grateful for the opportunity to live, work, and study on this land. As settlers, we also acknowledge that our occupation of these lands has led to further disruption and loss of life among Indigenous nations and communities across Turtle Island, and that every child matters.
Hi everyone, my name is Rose Feinmeyer, and I'm the president of the Ontario Heritage Fairs, and I want to welcome you today to our OHFA 2021 Virtual Fair. It's been another difficult year, but we were able to come together as a community to share our cultural heritage and history stories from across Ontario. I want to thank the regional fairs who participated, the wonderful coordinators, the teachers, the students, the parents, and other community members who were able to join the fairs program this year. And I know that there were many others who wanted to do that, and I hope that you'll return next year. The projects submitted this year were outstanding, and they really do reflect our diverse stories. I want to encourage you today to check out all the projects, the videos, the images, take part in our scavenger hunt created by Principal Kirby, watch the special video created by Kirby's talented daughter Amelia, and take part in the virtual cultural institution events that we posted. I want to take a moment to thank the OHFA executive who work all year to ensure the continuation and success of the Fairs program. A special thank you to our outstanding directors Carol White and Wayne Hoogley, and a big thank you to our wonderful sponsors. Please enjoy today's online event. Congratulations to everyone who is involved in creating and sharing their projects this year, and have a wonderful summer. Wishing you and your families well. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Liz Kerr here on behalf of the Ontario Heritage Fairs Association Board of Directors. And I'm sending out a huge shout out to the many partner organizations who collaborate with OHFA. At a national level, there's Canada's History as our main sponsor, and Kayak Magazine. In Ontario, the Ontario government provides a grant, and the Ontario Power Generation Corporation is our major financial sponsor. In addition to that, we have wonderful historical and heritage associations that contribute in many ways to the Heritage Fairs program. The Ontario Historical Society, the Multicultural History Society of Ontario, the Ontario Women's History Network, of course the Archives of Ontario, Ontario Genealogical Society, otherwise now known as the Ontario Ancestors, the Ontario Library Association, the Ontario Human Rights Commission. All of these organizations contribute awards which I know the students value very much. And the very breadth of these organizations opens up many opportunities for new thinking for our students. Over the past week, I have personally viewed every one of the award-winning projects, and they are outstanding. We are fortunate to have so many promising young historians across our province. I hope everyone seeing this will find some time to watch the award-winning projects posted on OHFA's website.
As COVID restrictions kept changing and changing, local museums were so creative and so flexible in finding different ways to do virtual workshops. And we ended up with a lot of really great workshops that could be done by the kids at home.
Bonjour à tous, mon nom est Marc Poirier. Toute l'équipe des Fêtes du patrimoine de l'Ontario tient à remercier chaleureusement ses partenaires. Votre soutien permet aux enfants de découvrir et d'explorer leur patrimoine, la culture et l'histoire canadienne. Votre contribution au programme des Fêtes du patrimoine est grandement appréciée. Un gros merci.
This man was known as the King of Swing. In this video, I'll be answering why is Oscar Peterson a Canadian difference maker? Firstly, he has been an unforgettable figure in jazz history, and as one of the most talented jazz pianists of all time. He has gifted the world with 32 songs, won 1 Juno and 8 Grammys, and his shining personality has engraved a place in the hearts of millions worldwide. Secondly, he has pushed for equality for all. He stated that the music field was the first to break down racial barriers because in order to play together, you have to love the people you are playing with. And if you have any racial inhibitions, you wouldn't be able to do that. So yes, I do believe that Oscar Peterson is a difference maker. And if you ever want to impress your grandparents with their jazz prowess, try listening to Oscar Peterson. Maybe you'll like him.
Les Filles des Rois were a group of women sent by the King of France, King Louis XIV, to New France, what is now known as Quebec, to populate it. It is known that at least 737 of Les Filles des Rois were married in New France, and one of them was my ancestor Marie Grandin, who was a Fille des Rois, which is the main reason why I chose this project. Les Filles des Rois ne sont pas bien connues. Si je n'étais pas née à un Fille des Rois, il y a de fortes chances que je n'aurais jamais découvert, car les écoles en Ontario en 5e année n'enseignent rien à leur sujet. Je trouve cela très étrange parce que ces femmes ont été courageuses venant dans un nouveau monde. Les Filles des Rois are important. They are a history and some of our ancestors. Many of us wouldn't be here right now if not for them. Thank you, merci.
Everybody that lives in Canada knows about the city Halifax, Nova Scotia. It's a beautiful place with the water and the buildings. But do you know about its past? The Halifax Explosion is the deadliest disaster in Canadian history. The sudden explosion rocked Halifax when two ships collided on the morning of December 6, 1917. The explosion concluded with a final total of eye injuries at 691. One of those eye injuries was my great-great-great-grandfather, David Charles LeVar Wilson. The explosion and tsunami completely destroyed his house, and he was in critical condition after the explosion and almost died, but in the end he managed to pull through.
les îles sont hantées par le peuple de Nipissing qui est mort de faim après avoir combattu les Iroquois et avait force de fuir à les îles Manitou. Cette information est de wiki en français. Une autre légende est la légende de l'écrit de la jeune fille. Cette légende dit qu'il y avait une jeune fille des peuples de Nipissing qui est tombée amoureuse avec une personne d'Iroquois. Les peuples de Nipissing a punissé l'homme d'Iroquois par mis dans le feu quand il était vivant sur les îles Manitou. La fille aimait l'homme si grand qu'elle a sauté dans le feu pour être avec lui. La légende dit que si tu fais du camping sur les îles Manitou, tu peux encore entendre ses cris. Cette légende est d'un livre que j'ai trouvé en ligne qui s'appelle Islands in the Sky. Et cette photo est de livre Islands in the Sky et il est illustré par Perry McLeod. One time I went to the Manitou Islands. It was really fun. I went with my brother and my dad. My dad pulled me and my brother all the way to the Manitou Islands on his fat bike. We went to Great Manitou Island and there we had hot dogs and played.
My topic is the Battle of the New Ridge. I picked it because it was one of the most important battles in Canadian history.
My topic, Hogan's Alley, was a Black, Chinese, and Italian community that came together to create an entertainment hub. I picked my topic because I am very interested in the multicultural history. Multicultural history relates a lot to today's society with cultural differences and racism. A lot of people thought back in that era everybody was separated and really nobody of different colors or races got along. It was all in their same group. But this community was actually a place where people put aside their cultural differences and their races to get along and build a fun community.
What is your topic?
It's about the London Majors. I go to a lot of their games and they're just fun to watch.
Majors baseball team.
Where did you find your information?
I found most of my information from the book Double Trap, The Last Canadian Public Hanging, which was written by a relative of Nicholas, so it was from family passed on.
I found my information from numerous online websites, one called Hogan's Alley Society. Hogan's Alley Society is actually a website that is trying to raise funds to rebuild Hogan's Alley as like a museum.
What skills did you develop when working on this project?
The skills I most developed were probably learning how to take jot notes and changing things into your own words.
How did the fact that we're dealing with COVID affect your project?
Well, because of COVID, I couldn't get the full experience, but I presented it and created it in a different way.
What do you like about heritage fairs?
Something I like about Heritage Fair is that you get to learn about the project you researched, and you also get to learn about Canadian history that you may not have known from other people's projects.
What does it feel like to be a provincial heritage fair participant?
Well, it's quite an accomplishment, but I feel normal.
Is there anything else you want to say?
There's a quote from Jimi Hendrix. When the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace.
My students loved participating in this year's virtual fair. They had a great time learning about our nation's past, and they had a great time developing their inquiry skills. In a difficult year with the pandemic, it was something that they looked forward to, it was something that they benefited from, and I feel that they are now more informed Canadian citizens who can make informed decisions for our nation's future. Thank you so much to the Ontario Heritage Fairs Association for providing my students and those across the province with this wonderful opportunity.